Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. And you guys probably, I hope you guys saw the Mechanical Master video because it's simply fantastic. And it's a fantastic class, the Mechanical Master. But at this point we have to talk to the Combat Elite. So we have to answer a few questions, guide you a bit, explain you a bit this research, and what is the Combat Elite all about. Now, the Mechanical Master and also the Combat Elite actually share some stuff. First of all, is having 3 hero march, which is absolutely a very high performance increased, and you have to push towards that. And the other thing they have actually in common is actually this new class update, which actually you need power cores for. So the best way to approach this, since it's a very expensive item, it's simply the fact you have to push towards level 80. They designed it this way so you people do not have the ability to gather these 2 free items per day. So you have to be first level 80. That's why being level 80 is the maximum priority. And of course, also these items are given in a few events at the moment. They are pretty new. This update is actually pretty new, this patch. And therefore, give it some time so you have more opportunities to get it actually for free and progress slowly. I do not recommend spending money on this. So from this point of view, what the Mechanical Master and Combat Elite actually have in common is the same goal actually. Yeah, you need, this is your goal, this is the maximum strength of your account, having a unique hero march for each unit types. So the Mechanical Master needs this in order to defend his base mainly. You're gonna need this in order to push and break towers or buildings in which they are reinforced, and you have to, your main focus is actually to kill your opponent. So the main reason why people choose actually Combat Elite are basically the people saying, okay, I can afford a few dollars a month and I will invest in this because your job as Combat Elite is pretty much straightforward, and this is exactly how the tree looks like. And let's go through it. So what the tree actually gives you, it's a lot of buff for your units, but also for your heroes. Now let me explain you that because you have to understand it. Sadly, I notice every day that you guys simply are waiting for the newest video to come on the channel while having absolutely brilliant and best explained information already in the channel, but you guys simply ignore to watch it or are not aware that these videos are already there. So therefore, I will touch a bit by explaining this, even though there are already videos on the channel talking about it. So from this point of view, let's simplify the Combat Elite tree right here in actually 2 key points, while ignoring this, since the Mechanical Master and Combat Elite actually has this as a common skill, which is extremely important. But after that, there's a key moment, and the key moment is this one. Yeah, this is your absolute goal. Reach this as fast as possible, and I will explain you how to do this in a bit. The second important thing, which is a very delicate subject, is actually the latest patch they brought us. These are great skills, no question about it, but we do have to evaluate this from the money spending point of view. So how is this worth it? How you should do it in the best way. So let's go back to the skill tree in order to explain briefly some of the stuff. So we're gonna specifically click on this, and I told you your hero is gonna be buffed, and I will explain it very briefly. So we look at the combat, extra 10%. We are talking about defense, extra 10%, and we are talking about the command. Well, now the question is, what is this exactly? Yeah. So for that, we're gonna go to the hero list, and I'm gonna pick a hero which actually everybody pretty much has it. So let's take, for example, Mr. Nimitz. So when you look here downstairs, you're gonna see the stats: war, defense, and the CMD. So what is that? Now, first thing you're gonna notice right here is actually I'm having 53k war, which is way higher than yours. This has something to do with the decoration. I will explain this even though it's already an existing beautiful video on the channel, which you people do not choose to watch. So these heroes, they are kind of 2 different types of heroes when it comes down to the war and defense. Some heroes are actually war heroes, and you see him by having way higher war stats than actually defense stats. So the war stats itself is actually using this hero in your march will actually increase your stats by another 106%. Now let's have a look on top of that, what is a defense buffing hero? And we simply can take, for example, Optimus Prime, and you can see right here, right off the bat, you see that he has a way higher DEF value, which actually indirectly tells you this is a defense buffing hero. But this war and DEF stats actually do not stop actually there. So if you click on the hero skill, in this case, this being a defense buffing hero, you actually see for each 100 DEF, you get his skill buffed by a certain value, in this case 0.05%. Now, if we look on Mr. Nimitz, he's gonna have the same thing but with war, yeah? So where do I find these stats? So the easiest way to find the war and DEF stats for the heroes, you actually have to click on your profile on the stats, and you don't even have to scroll down. You already see, in this case, my war stats are 5.12k and the DEF is 4.8k. Now this comes mainly from the decoration. This may scare you now, but allow me to explain you why this should not impress you that much. So why is this so? Let's take a hero like Mr. Shinji, yeah? But there are a few heroes way before him. And if we look at the war stats, you see right away he has 45k war stat, which means, and only 22 DEF, which means this is more or less looks like a war hero. And the war stats will apply to improve his skill, but this improvement is actually not that high. So this is actually what they done. It's an indirect nerf towards these DEF and war stats of the hero. So this is exactly the reason why you shouldn't get discouraged, or you shouldn't pick up your wallet and invest in these stats. These stats are good, but they are not necessarily actually needed to push very high. And the last thing we have to actually mention is we can go back on Shinji, and it's the CMD. The CMD is attack, so you get, as combat elite, you get an increased march size, because that's all about what you actually need. You need more strength, you need more power, you need a bigger march in order to kill your opponents. Now let's go back to the tree, and allow me to recommend you good way to approach this. So you reaching this, yeah, you have to reach. You must pay attention to this line. You see all the lines connect, so which means you have to have them all up. But you're gonna reach this point right here. So you're gonna see this is actually needed and this is actually needed, but this is not needed. Now, what is DEF? DEF is another case of a beautiful video already existing on the channel, which simply gets ignored by you people thinking it's an older video. It is not. The information is up to date, and you guys making a big mistake always waiting for the newest video on the channel while having absolutely fantastic information already existing on the channel. So what we're gonna do, and what I recommend is basically you should skip this one. What is exactly this DEF? Now this DEF is for your stats, not for the hero. Looks the same name, but is not the same as the DEF what you just saw on the heroes. So the DEF value is actually a better version of damage reduction. Now there's another video on the channel explaining why the damage reduction is actually indirectly a damage boost. Please go there, go find it, go watch it, yeah? So in this case, this 10% means, so you understand it even better, it's actually around 15% damage reduction, simply because the value is somewhere around 1 DEF point equals 1.5% damage reduction. But this may sound very, very important. It is for sure. But what's more important is actually, because this is not connected here, you're actually gonna skip it at the beginning. Why? Because you're gonna push towards this. This is a very, very, very important step, a very important milestone for the combat elite. You want to reach this first, and after that you're gonna carry on in order to reach the encyclement. Once you have reached this point, this point is basically the new patch we just got, you can surely go back and do this to level 10. Now, we have reached the most delicate part of the video, in which we have to talk of the new class changes that actually added to the system, and these 5 researches. So your maximum morale is actually 10. So you're gonna do this level 3 anyways, but at this moment you have actually 3 skills and they all need to be level 5. Now let's speak about them because this is a great skill, but to reach it, it's gonna take you a long period of time, and if you want to push it, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. Now the big question is right here, how much worth it is this to push? Now from this line right here, yes, of course, this is a skill which actually push your morale up to level 10. It's a good one. Sadly, I understand the way they design it. It's correct to be designed this way, that actually fluctuates back and forth. When you lose a battle, you lose a morale point. When you win, you get a plus point. But seeing actually in the background the amount of items you actually need, this is nowhere close of me recommending you guys to start buying power cores. It's really not. So the most stable one in this line is actually this one, because this is more or less guaranteed. So no matter the level, this is a guaranteed stuff. So yeah, and I also explain why the damage reduction is actually indirectly a damage boost. So depending on your spending, let's say in approximately 10, 20 years, you're probably gonna want to reach this. Yeah. Joke aside, let's talk about the middle one. It has to be done in order to reach the last one. So this is, yeah, absolutely something, yeah, very poor, because it means extra 35% attack. This is really very poor value comparing to amount of items you actually need to level up, but it's a requirement in order to reach this last point. Now the last one, the so-called War Beast, it's indeed a War Beast, but it's going to take you a long way to reach it. And let's be fair, the game actually has workarounds for that. You have workarounds by playing good with your mechanical master. You have possibilities by taking the towers first down and then hit the opponent. What this skill actually does is actually allowing you one time to sacrifice 5 morale points. So you're gonna go drop down to +5, but hit very hard, meaning ignoring all weakness towers and ignoring all strengthening towers. So it's a direct hit. So this skill, it's my opinion, it's yeah, it looks great, justifies actually the value, but doesn't really actually justify to actually spend money right now. So again, I will gonna stick to my suggestion. Just play wise and always take those 2 items a day, those power cores a day. And also, for example, keep an eye out for the events which actually gives you a few. There's not much, it's a few, but just take them every day and you're gonna counter a bit this spending situation. So that being said, this is pretty much the Combat Elite tree. Again, you probably noticed in the video, I tried to reduce as much as possible the fact that you actually have to spend a bit more. So, but it's obvious, yeah, it's obvious. And the class is nice, but to be honest, as you saw in the video with the Mechanical Master, the Mechanical Master is absolutely a beautiful and very complex class, having a lot of tools. The Combat Elite is more or less like a War Beast, yeah. So you have only one job, so yeah. From this point of view, I hope this video actually explained you a bit or gave you a better view of the Combat Elite, and I will see you guys in the next episode.